First things first, though, let us go to the phone lines and say hello to our first guest of the day. I just spoke about him. He is now fighting Brian Ortega at UFC 222 on March 3rd in Las Vegas. He went from fighting for the belt to now fighting one of the rising stars at 145. That's how it goes, but credit to him for saying, I want to stay on the card. Of course, we're talking about the one and only Frankie Edgar, who's joining us right now. Frankie, are you there?
I'm here, Ariel. What's up, man?
Good to talk to you, Frankie. So let's start maybe from the beginning of this saga, if you will. What was your reaction, Frankie, when you found out that unfortunately Max Holloway was pulling out of your fight? This is a little over a week ago now.
Yeah, man, I was pissed, man. Obviously, we were supposed to get down in December, and I got injured, and now here we go. He gets injured. So, it's just unfortunate. It's the way things go. I was bummed for a little bit depressed, but, I got over it, man. I just wanted to stay on the card. I'm itching to fight. It's been too long. So here we are, now we got to fight Ortega.
Were you thinking at all, like maybe this matchup, like we've seen it with Khabib and Ferguson, hopefully it comes to fruition, like maybe this isn't meant to be you fighting Max Holloway?
I don't believe in stuff like that. Meant to be, not meant to be, man. If we're going to get down, we'll get down. It's just got to work out. And so far it hasn't. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future.
So you're oh so close to fighting for the belt, of course. Like you're a month away when this news comes out. Why did you say that you wanted to stay on the card as opposed to waiting for him to return and get healthy?
I mean, I haven't fought since May. I just didn't want to wait. Time's ticking, man. And I want to get in there. I've been putting in a lot. Last time I got, I think 3 weeks before the fight. So, I have a bunch of camps under myself, and no fight, to have to show for it. So, I just want to go in there and put my skills to use, man. I mean, I only get paid if I fight. So, I definitely want to get in there.
Was it ever on the did the UFC ask you what you wanted to do? Like, hey, if you want to wait, you can wait, or we'd love to. Like, was it strictly your decision, or were they offering you things initially?
Yeah, no, I know. When Ali called me and told me he hurt, I said I need to fight, so just get me another opponent, and that was it.
Okay. Did you have a preference, or was it truly? Like, I know I saw what you wrote online, but was it truly anyone?
Yeah, I just want to get in there. I mean, I'm glad it was Ortega because it makes the most sense. He's number 3 right under me. I mean, that definitely makes the most sense for the division. But, yeah, at that point, man, I was just wanting to make sure I had someone to fight.
Was anyone other than Ortega discussed? Were there any other options brought to you?
Not really. Pretty much Ortega was the guy that was talked about right away. So, made the most sense. And, I was game for him or for anybody really. But, definitely worked out that Ortega, jumped to it.
I feel like you have developed a bit of a reputation as being sort of like a prospect killer, if you will. You did it with Yair Rodriguez. You've done it throughout your career. There was the Chad Mendes fight, not necessarily a prospect, but, a younger guy, Cub Swanson. You have a very good ability of like halting someone's momentum. Do you take pride in that? And do you view this fight as a similar situation?
I take pride that I win when people don't think I'm gonna. I don't think like I'm gonna ruin this guy's plans or anything like that. And I just want to make sure my plans stay intact. And that's what I do. Go out there and just try to win fights. I don't care if I'm fighting a guy that I'm supposed to beat, not supposed to beat, younger, older. The objective is still the same. I want to go in there and win.
Have you been impressed with him as of late? The win over Cub Swanson was the most recent one, but overall, like what he's done in the UFC, what is your take on Brian Ortega?
Yeah, he's game. He's about as game as it gets, He's not scared to sit there and throw with the best of them. He's got a very slick guard, dangerous jiu-jitsu game. So he's a dangerous opponent. And, I got to give him credit to jump at this fight, short notice. But, I think he got a new contract. He could, take my spot. So, he has a lot of things, on the table that are going for him too.
I feel like I know the answer to this, but just to make sure, like at this stage in your career, you're just kind of like preparing, you've done this enough to where you don't have to drastically change things, but Ortega is a bit of a different fighter than Max Holloway. Do you have to change things drastically as far as your training camp goes in the next few weeks because you're fighting a guy who, of course, is so good off his back and so good, with his jiu-jitsu?
Not so much, man. Holloway's no joke either, on his back and in his submission game, and their body types are very similar. So, it wasn't too much of a change. And, I got Ricardo Almeida, Mark Henry in my corner, always adjusting things, as we go. So I know I'm confident in my preparation and, what you guys have me working on.
That's, by the way, that's MMA Hour Coaches of the Year, Ricardo Almeida and Mark Henry, just, for the record. You saw that, right?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Deservingly so. I mean,
Yes.
I think they should win it every year, but of course I'm a little biased.
Well, they're finally trying, they're getting the respect that they deserve. They had a great year last year, and so I just wanted to make sure that you knew the title, that they're kind of the defending champions for 2017. That's big. But you go though from fighting for the belt to obviously the co-main event. How does that work financially? Because you get more money when you fight for the belt, right? Are they taking care of you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get paid pretty good either way, So I'm still making money, I'm not complaining. I'm just happy they got me a fight, and I'm staying on the card. And the card's still, I know the card was, at risk of getting canceled altogether. So I'm glad it all worked out.
Did they try to get you to fight in Orlando a week or so before?
That was a possibility too. Yeah, they said maybe Orlando. I mean, everything was real, kind of playing by ear and stuff, see how it goes. But I was just like, yes. I said yes to pretty much anything as long as I could fight around at the same time.
Okay. And then what about like the title shot? Like, have you been told you win this, you're fighting for the belt, you're getting that spot back?
No, but I mean, I don't see how a loss would make me not get it, or
Sure.
a win would make me not get it. You know what I mean? So he's the number 3 guy. He's the guy that would have to say I never had this title shot against Holloway, and me and Ortega would fight. I imagine that would be a title eliminator anyway.
Right. I also heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you're kind of hoping this goes, relatively smoothly, and then you want to return for the Atlantic City card. Is that accurate?
I mean, I've mentioned it. It would be nice. I really don't want to lose focus on the task at hand. And Ortega's a dangerous dude, and I go in there and make sure I take care of business. And it's a lot of ifs going
Sure.
into that fight. Who knows how I'll come out of it, whether I'm get banged up or not. So yeah, I mean, if it all works out, then timing and health, all that stuff, yeah, it's definitely something I'll consider. But right now, I just want to focus on March 3rd.
It is a tricky thing, and I'm wondering if your stance is starting to change a little bit, because you are 36 now, right? And like this idea of just like waiting around for title shots, as we like to talk about, and like as media and fans, at some point you have to provide for your family. You have 3 children. You haven't fought in May, as you mentioned. Like, you can't really do that anymore, right? Like, you just have to remain active. You just want to get paid at this point, right?
Pretty much, I'm not saying the belt lost its value. I mean, to me, I still hold it pretty high. It's something that I definitely is one of my goals that I want to check off for all said and done. But, I mean, you got to fight. We're prize fighters. I need to fight for a prize. I don't get paid unless I fight. It's not like basketball, baseball. You get some guaranteed money. I only get paid when I'm in the octagon. So I got to get in there and make sure I get mine.
Do you regret the fact that you sat out from May to December in hindsight?
I mean, no, you can't. I'm not going to go back and regret things that happened. It's already past me. So I just got to worry about making the right decisions in front of me.
Okay. Remember when you were last on the show, you got mad at me for putting you and Ortega in the same poll, and now here you are fighting each other. Isn't that weird?
Look at this, man. Look at this. Maybe you fucking mustered this all up,
No, I promise I didn't. Although I do think it's a phenomenal matchup. Like, if you weren't going to fight Holloway, I feel like this is the next best thing. I wonder though, do you feel like this is the Yair fight, like where he's not quite at your level just yet, or do you think he's past Yair as far as talent and experience is concerned?
I think he's beaten some bigger names. That win over Cub was pretty big win for him. I think he's just maybe he's on the same kind of rising scale as Yair, but I think he's just a totally different fighter. So it's kind of hard to really compare the two.
Is the UFC going to miss Frankie Edgar when he's gone? We were talking last week on the show, like how you're always down anytime, anywhere. There's no BS with you. You're not holding out for money. You're not holding out for super fights. Do you feel like you're kind of the last of a dying breed as you look around the sport these days?
Yeah, I think so, a little bit. Everyone wants to kind of use their mouth to get where they want to go instead of just putting in the work and being a hard worker and doing things the right way. They're seeing instant results, so I get why they want to do that. I'm a little old school, I guess. Being 36, I guess that makes me old school. But, I just kind of do my work and keep my mouth shut and let my results speak, kind of get me where I want to go.
And you're lucky because you have like a 1980s professional wrestling manager in Ali Abdelaziz who can talk the smack for you. Last week on the show, I'm still getting text messages about his appearance on the show last week. He like went down a hit list of people who he hates, and he continues to believe that Conor ducked you and that you were given the raw end of the deal. I don't know if you saw that interview, but when you hear him go off on these people, what do you think? Do you like this, or do you wish that he would tone it down a little bit?
I think Ali should be himself, Just don't hold it against me. That's all. Just don't hold it against me.
So you're cool with it. It's not like a kid his dad embarrassing him or something.
No, not at all, man. I mean, Ali speaks for himself. He cares about his fighters, and no one could ever say that's not true. He's not in there running his mouth to get attention for himself. He's running his mouth to get attention for his fighters. That you don't see that often, in the manager world. And he's one of a kind, special breed, and I love him for it.
The thing that you've got to respect, and it's the same with Mark Henry and Ricardo Almeida, they treat you like the godfather of the team. Like Ali now reps like 40 guys in the UFC, but when it comes to you, like, don't you dare say anything about Frankie Edgar. You are the patriarch. You're the guy. Do you notice like the respect that they give to you is unlike anything I've seen in this sport. Like they treat you like you are the captain of all captains of this squad. It's pretty amazing. You've obviously noticed this, right?
I mean, yeah, I was the first to do it for all of them. So,
sure.
I guess that's what comes with that territory when you're the first guy to do it. And, I'm not, I think they talk for me too, because they know I'm not much of a talker myself. So they want to stick up for me and, say what they think I should be saying at times.
How many more years you want to do this for?
Man, I keep getting this question, and I'll keep getting the same answer. I really don't have a time stamp on it. As long as I'm having fun and I'm successful, that's kind of my thing. And so far, I get up to practice, I get up to go to the gym, and it doesn't bother me. I enjoy it. I look forward to it, and my body feels good right now. And if I go out there and keep winning, I'll keep doing this until that one of those things go on me.
And how is the orbital bone? It's all healed. No restrictions at all.
No, I was good. I think it was good pretty much end of December. I was cleared. I waited probably till right after New Year's to kind of get hit again, and so far I've been good. So all is well.
Last thing, do you kind of view this as like the unofficial, the people's main event, if you will, of 222? No knock on the title fight, but it does seem like a lot more people are excited about this fight than that one.
Yeah, I think so. Got a guy like myself and nice young blood like Ortega. I think it's just a little more people more inclined to get behind that one than a brand new girl coming over fighting Cyborg. So yeah, I'm down with the people's main event.
All right, I like it. Wear that title with pride. That's great. Thank you so much for doing this, Frankie, and thanks for remaining on the card. I think I speak for everyone when I say that. Best of luck with the last few weeks of training. We'll see you out there in Las Vegas.
Ariel, thanks, man. I'll see you soon, buddy.
All right, there he is. The one and only Frankie Edgar said, I don't care who it is. Just keep me on this damn card. Give me another opponent. Let's do it.